Kevin Mitnick, for years the most wanted computer criminal in America. His superpower was not code, not a technical exploit, not any software vulnerability. It was talking. He called the right person, he said the right thing, struck the right tone of calm authority, and they told him everything he needed. He later wrote that in most cases, he didn't need to touch the technical systems at all. The humans handed him everything, freely, willingly, without any awareness that something had just happened. In the language of tabletop, Mitnick didn't roll to pick the lock. He rolled persuasion, and he rolled high, every single time. Welcome back. I'm the architect. Last episode, we studied phishing, the most successful delivery mechanism in the threat landscape. Phishing is one technique, a form of a much older, broader discipline, social engineering. The art of manipulating people rather than exploiting systems. And the reason we spend a whole separate episode on it is that phishing only captures the email-based version of it. The full toolkit is wider, and understanding it means you'll recognize the move whether it arrives as an email, a phone call, a knock at the door, or a person holding a conversation next to you in the parking lot. Here's the foundation everything else rests on. Every organization has what we might call a hardware layer underneath all that software, beneath the firewalls and encryption and access controls. The hardware layer is human. And human beings have exploitable defaults. We are wired for trust. We defer to authority. We reciprocate when someone does something for us. We assume that the person who looks like they belong there belongs there. These are not bugs in the human operating system. They are features that make civilization function. A social engineer studies them the way a rogue studies a lock, looking for the predictable mechanism they can leverage, the tumbler that always gives. Technique 1. Pretexting. The foundation of most social engineering attacks. The attacker builds a false identity and a false scenario, a pretext. Hi, I'm calling you from the IT department. We're seeing unusual activity associated with your account. Need to verify your credentials before the issue escalates. Nothing about that sentence is true, but it sounds exactly like the calls that are true. Same tone, same urgency, same framing, same vocabulary. The pretext provides the cover for every question that follows, and humans will often answer questions from an authority figure in a crisis context that they would never answer cold. A good pretext also includes the right jargon, the right name drops, and right emotional register. Calm but concerned. Helpful but pressed for time. The attacker did their reconnaissance homework. They know what the IT department is called. They know who runs it. They know what the service desk typically asks about. And the employee on the other end has no reason to suspect anything, because it sounds completely real. This is the bard walking into the keep wearing the right colors and speaking with the right accent. Nobody checks the seal because the performance is flawless. Technique 2. Baiting. An appeal to curiosity, or to greed, or to helpfulness. Classic example, the USB drop. A parking lot, a building lobby, an office kitchen. Someone leaves a flash drive. Maybe it's labeled Employee Salary Survey 2024, Q4 Layoff List, Confidential, Do Not Share. Human curiosity is nearly irresistible. Someone picks it up, takes it to their desk, plugs it in to see what's on it. And the drive runs its payload automatically the moment it connects. The bait worked because nothing had to be proven. No authority claimed, No scenario constructed. Just an object that promised something interesting. A mimic disguised as a treasure chest, sitting in plain sight, waiting for someone to reach for it. Online baiting works the same way. Free software, pirated media. Click here to claim your prize. The prize is malware. Technique 3. Quid pro quo. Offer something in exchange for something. I'll help you fix that IT issue if you just confirm your login so I can remote in. I'll get that request approved faster if you tell me which admin handles that system. Reciprocity is deeply wired into human behavior. When someone does something for you, or credibly offers to, you feel an obligation. Social engineers leverage that feeling precisely. The offer doesn't have to be significant. Small favors generate disproportionate goodwill, and goodwill generates compliance. Technique 4. Tailgating, sometimes called piggybacking. Physical access. Someone holds a door. You hold it back for the next person, because that's what you do. Because it would feel rude and paranoid and antisocial not to. Ever wonder why us security folks are the way that we are? Anyway, and the person who followed you in didn't badge in, doesn't work there, is now inside the building with all the access that implies. This technique works because security culture and politeness culture are in direct tension, and politeness almost always wins. The defense is not to be rude. The defense is a system that doesn't require individuals to make difficult judgment calls at the door. Turnstiles. Single-person entry points. Reception desks that handle visitor control so the employee never has to choose. Remove the social pressure from the individual. Don't ask people to choose between being helpful and being secure. Make secure behavior the default, not the effort. Here's the thing that gets left out of most phishing training programs. You can't train human trust instincts out of your workforce. You wouldn't want to if you could. A company full of people who trust nobody is not a company. It's a collection of paranoid strangers. The worst adventuring party ever assembled. What you can do, verification culture. Any request involving sensitive access or unusual action gets verified. Through a channel you initiated, not through the caller or message itself. Don't call back the number the suspicious email provides. Call the number on the company's official website, even when the request sounds completely legitimate, especially then. No shame policies. The single most powerful culture change an organization can make: create an environment where anyone can stop and say, I need to verify this before I proceed, without embarrassment, without fear of seeming difficult or paranoid, without the social pressure of someone waiting on hold. Most social engineering relies on the target being too embarrassed to push back. Remove the embarrassment, remove the attack surface. Separation of duties. For high-risk actions, wire transfers, access grants, and system changes, no single person should be able to authorize alone. 2 sets of eyes, always, because the attacker can only enchant one person at a time. And now, your quest objective. Think of a time someone convinced you to do something you probably should have checked first. Not necessarily malicious, could be completely innocent. A salesperson, a coworker, an official-sounding phone call from someone you'd never spoken to before. What was the mechanism? Authority? Urgency? Reciprocity? The social pressure of not wanting to be the difficult one in the room. Naming the mechanism is how you start recognizing it in real time. The pause you learn to take, let me just verify this first, is worth more than most technical security controls. Because the attacker cannot hack your policies. They can only work around your instincts. And the instinct to verify is the one you can build. We spent 2 episodes on how attackers get in, through the human layer. through the trust that organizations cannot function without. Next time, we look at what they bring with them once the door is open, by a phishing email, by a social engineering call, or by any of the delivery mechanisms we've covered. Something arrives on the other side: malware. And not all malware is the same creature. The Monster Manual has an entire bestiary, and we're going to open it. I'm the architect. We'll talk soon.